holy macadamia nut, former Biden prosecutor, political weaponization tool, deranged Jack Smith, testified before Congress today about his indictment against Trump and going after Trump. And boy, I think he admitted something that I don't even know if he was really aware of, that he just confessed. And you may be saying, Nez, what in the world are you talking about? What did he confess? Well, it's something that we kind of always knew the whole time. Plus, there was a heated moment during the hearing where Jim Jordan, the chairman, had to stop everything, and police had to come in and break up a potential, I don't know, kind of a brawl or whatever between some of the former Capitol Police officers on that day in January of 2021. I got to share that with you. It's pretty big. But first, listen to what Trump had to say. This, I think, is a beautiful preview of some of the clips I'm going to share with you. Trump posting this: deranged Jack Smith is being decimated before Congress. It was over when they discussed his past failures and unfair prosecutions. He destroyed many lives under the guise of legitimacy. Jack Smith is a deranged animal who shouldn't be allowed to practice law. And I mean, there's not an untrue word there. He continues, if he were a Republican, his license would be taken away from him, and far worse. Hopefully, the Attorney General is looking at what he's done, including some of the crooked and corrupt witnesses that he was attempting to use in his case against me. The whole thing was a Democrat scam. A big price should be paid by them for what they have put our country through. And you know, after I share these clips, it's pretty hard to argue with Trump. I mean, the guy has just played phenomenal 4D chess with everything that happened at Davos, schooling, trolling Gavin Newsom, showing up and daring the European leaders to say it to my face. What you say in your little tweets and your little videos. Say it to my face. What am I, a schlemiel on wheels over here? I mean, he reminds me of an Italian guy. He doesn't take any gruff from anybody. Here's this first clip. You're going to love this. Check out one of my favorite people, Congressman Brandon Gill, who says, just pins him down, and it's just absolutely glorious to watch. Check this out.
How many days after Kevin McCarthy was sworn in as Speaker did you subpoena his records?
I don't recall, but those two things had nothing to do with one.
It was 16 days after becoming the highest-ranking Republican in the House of Representatives. You subpoenaed his toll records. Do you agree that that might reasonably be considered a violation of the speech or debate clause?
I do not, and I want to be clear that the toll records...
You were collecting months' worth of phone data on the Republican Speaker of the House, the leader of the opposition, right after he got sworn in as Speaker, all around the time of a major vote. That sounds like a flagrant violation of the speech or debate clause to me, and I think most people agree with me. And Speaker McCarthy had no recourse, did he? Because you issued a non-disclosure order ensuring that neither he nor any of the American people knew about these subpoenas. Is that right?
The toll record, the non-content toll record subpoenas, we did secure non-disclosure orders for those subpoenas.
You did, and let me ask you, Mr. Smith, at the time you secured those non-disclosure orders, was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
The non-disclosure order was based on concerns about...
Was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
He was not.
He was not. Then why did your non-disclosure order refer to him as a flight risk? It says right here, the court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in flight from prosecution.
Sir, when securing a non-disclosure order, the risks don't have to be associated...
You think that the Speaker of the House is a flight risk?
The question?
No, this is not your time. This is my time. You think the Speaker of the House is a flight risk? You think he's going to hop on a plane and leave the country?
No, what I was trying to explain is with respect to a non-disclosure order, the risks aren't necessarily associated with the subscriber to the phone. They're the risks to the investigation.
I think that you were using, this was clearly in reference to Speaker McCarthy, and you were using clearly false information to secure a non-disclosure order to hide from Speaker McCarthy and from the American people the fact that you were spying on his toll record.
I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love Brandon Gill, a.k.a. Superman. Doesn't he look like Christopher Reeves from those old 70s and 80s Superman movies? I just love him. Check this out. Chaos absolutely erupts after Representative Issa, and by the way, Trump reposted did this, confirms that Jack Smith withheld info from a judge when he spied on Republicans. You got to see this one.
Hold that information from an Article III judge in the process of taking the records of the Speaker of the House.
We complied with Department.
Did you hold back
Mr. Chairman, would you please instruct the gentleman to allow the witness to answer the questions?
It's not your time. I'd like my time back.
Mr. Chairman, you have repeatedly done that in the past. The witness has the right to answer the question.
And there'll be due time to answer the question. Would you please put my time back and let me finish this? Mr. Smith, I asked you a question and you were not responsive to it, and I want you to be responsive to it. Did you, whether you think it was legal or not, whether you think it was right or not, did you withhold the name of Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, when you were seeking records on Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, or Jim Jordan, the chairman of this committee?
The time of the gentleman is...
No, please give me back the time that was taken away.
Time has expired, but we're going to let the witness answer your question because it's an important question. The witness can respond.
We did not provide that information to the judge when we requested a non-disclosure order, consistent with the law and consistent with Department
Mr. Chairman, the amazing thing here today is that we have an admission that an Article
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman's time has expired by now 34 seconds.
It gets more than 5 minutes.
How many times you interrupt me?
The time belongs to the gentleman from California, but it has expired.
I will be brief in my address to the chairman. We have the evidence that an Article I representative on behalf of the president withheld that Article III.
Mr. Chairman, our witness granted the same leniency.
And with that, I yield back in disgust of this witness.
God, that ratty rat rascal. Oh, he's such a rat. He's got plugs in his hair. I can't stand that guy. Oh, he's such a ratty rat. Okay, I'm sorry. But you can see right there, they're trying to suppress. They're trying to talk over him. They don't want that to go on the record that Jack Smith admitted he withheld information spying on opposing party that he doesn't support the Republicans. It's just right there in plain black and white. Okay, here's a clip right here that I think is fantastic. Representative Chip Roy from Texas rips Jack Smith during a House Judiciary, asking him if he's on a list of targeted records and subpoenaed phone toll records. And listen to this mumbling, shuffling, degenerate Jack Smith, deranged, to use Trump's word, respond. Watch.
Well, let me ask you this. Am I on this list? Did you target my records and subpoena my phone toll records?
My understanding is your records were subpoenaed by prosecutors before I became special counsel.
Well, the staff would put this up on the screen. I'm thankful for the great staff who discovered the email where I learned for the first time a few weeks ago that my phone records were indeed targeted. We called AT&T and we've learned that they were given to the Department of Justice, as this email indicates, because I had been in communication with Scott Perry, one of my colleagues here in Congress, who literally had his phone taken from him in front of his family. And of course, as we've already talked about in this document, it talks about you could be in violation of the privilege by even obtaining and possessing this information if the member objected to the disclosure. This happened 4 years ago in May of 2022, and I couldn't object because I didn't know. I didn't know until about 3 weeks ago. My question here is, was there any limits to your investigation or the investigation that preceded you, Mr. Smith? Because as egregious as a violation of separation of powers this is, as an egregious and abuse of power it is, it's far more concerning you are clearly targeting American citizens for merely being conservative or supporting the president. We've got memos that we've already been talking about in this hearing from April 2022 that preceded you that establish and open the investigations, one of which has Attorney General Merrick Garland's signature on it. And the focus was the electors. Now, that was 6 months before you were appointed. You testified earlier, you met and interviewed Merrick Garland and Deputy AG Lisa Monaco. And you briefed the AG and deputy multiple times. Did you brief them on the electors and the prosecution of their supposed crimes?
I'm sorry.
Did you brief them on the electors and their supposed crimes?
I don't recall specific conversations, but I'm sure that in the course of briefing them, I discussed.
Wasn't that the purpose of the entire investigation as it was set out? Because putting aside that in 1960, it was already talked about my friend Mr. Tiffany that Hawaii put forward an alternate slate of electors, the investigation pivoted to President Trump and frankly anybody who knew him. Do you know who Cleta Mitchell is?
Yes, I do.
She's an election lawyer that was involved in filing an election contest on behalf of President Trump in Georgia in December of 2020. A 64-page complaint with over 1,100 pages of exhibits, witness affidavits, and expert witness reports documenting thousands of votes cast in violation of Georgia law, but which were nevertheless included in the vote totals. Now, notwithstanding the disposition of the cases that was filed, is that a criminal act? Filing an election contest on behalf of a candidate for office, a client. Is that a criminal act, yes or no?
No, in fact, we
So why did you deem it appropriate to monitor Cleta Mitchell's long-distance phone records in 2023, 2.5 years after the election contest was filed and after the presidential electors were certified? What about Jen Ellis? What about Sidney Powell? What about Bill Sepien? What crime did you suspect had been committed by them that would warrant monitoring their phone records 2.5 years after the 2020 election was certified?
With respect to Sidney Powell, she is one of the co-conspirators alleged in the indictment. I don't know what you mean by monitoring, sir, if you're talking.
Well, there were some 400 plus Republican conservative groups and leaders who were targeted by your investigation. Their financial records were obtained, records of the RNC, the Trump campaign, Cleta Mitchell, the Conservative Partnership Institute, the America First Policy Institute, NRCC, NRSC, PACs, conservative groups, people all across the country, citizens, because we hear a lot about members of Congress. And we should, because of separation of powers and the egregious abuse of power. But what we're not talking about enough, in my opinion, are the American citizens that have been targeted. Because frankly, are there any limits to the power of a special prosecutor or special counsel? So much so in your abuse of power that in the summer of 2024, the indictment involving classified documents was dismissed after determining your appointment violated the Appointments Clause of the Constitution, but you continued to sign your name on court filings until the time you resigned from office in January of 2025. A federal judge just recently stated a prosecutor who continues to sign his name in court filings after a disqualification order should face disciplinary action or disbarment. I yield back.
Absolute toast. I mean, he just toasted him. You saw how Smith was shuffling and mumbling and mumbling. Here's a great clip. I mean, this guy is done. I mean, he's right. Trump is right. Decimated. Representative Troy Nehls, who, this is what sparks the next clip. You got to see this. The former Capitol police officers, disgraced. Fanone is one of them. You know, he's the one who really got in this guy's face. I want you to pay attention to this clip, and then I'm going to show you what happened when police had to be called in. Watch this.
I'd like to quickly address the police officers of January 6th. Mr. Dunn, Mr. Fanone, Mr. Gonell, Mr. Hodges. I'm a member of the new select committee to actually examine what happened that day. And I can tell you, gentlemen, that the fault does not lie with Donald Trump. It lies with Yogananda Pittman and the U.S. Capitol leadership team. We know they had the intelligence and there was going to be a high propensity for violence that day. Claim my time, yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but Fanone pretended to cough. Oh my God, this is insane. So Fanone pretended to cough. Here's the clip where he goes to this Ivan Ranklin guy and says, "Go F yourself." Now, here's my question to everybody watching, and I think this clip that I'm about to share with you, which I have to blurt out a few words, which I will, I think will demonstrate this in full technicolor, and that is this. If you didn't do anything wrong, if you're innocent, if you're in the right, why act belligerent? The only reason anybody would resort to ad hominem attacks or emotion is it goes all the way back to primality. What do I mean by primality? You know, the primal world, animals, when they feel cornered and they have no other choice, they attack. Their emotions, their fight or flight kicks in. Anyway, you know the deal. Watch this clip right here, where there you see Fanone in the green lettered shirt there. Dropkick Murphys, I don't know what that is. watch this exchange right here, and you tell me what's really going on here.
Why are you so spasmodic? Watch that. Absolutely. Look behind you.
Excuse me.
Why should I?
Excuse me. No, not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. Oh, give me.
See how many people are controlling you? Look at me.
No
Total control over my mind and body. Total control over your mind and body.
Sir, you have no shame. No shame. You have no shame. Treating these people that way.
This guy is threatening my family.
Unbelievable.
Threatening my children. Threatening my children. Oh, my children, you sick bastard. My children. Don't touch me. Do not.
So now they're saying that this Raikkonen guy should sue Fanone because that's defamation. I blurted it out, but he basically said, you tried to RAPE my child, my children. We all know what happened. We all know what Nancy Pelosi did. We have the Capitol Police Chief, Stephen Sund, who said, I asked Nancy Pelosi 5 different times, and she waited till the very last second to authorize the National Guard. She admitted and confessed it. We have debunked the myth of what happened in January of 2021. We have debunked it 1,000,000 times. That right there, to me, just seals the deal. And Jack Smith, remember, this is the same guy who raided a former president's home like he was some narco chieftain mafia hitman, mafia boss or whatever, in the middle of the night, and actually placed fake classified documents for photo ops. That rat, that spineless, gutless, heartless traitor, those are the real traitors. And Raskin and all those ridiculous hypocrites backing this up, they don't want you to know. They don't want me to know. They don't want anybody to know. You're not going to see this on woke media. Why? Because if the truth actually got out that Trump had nothing to do with it, if the truth actually came out that it was all Pelosi, that it was actually the dereliction of duty by some of these Capitol Police who were probably paid and funded by Republicans, by Obama, by God knows who, Soros, who knows? These are not conspiracy theories. These are all true. I know I sound, even just me saying it, I sound conspiratorial, but it's all been proven true. Trump was right about everything. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to get your thoughts. Leave them down below. Please tap that thumbs up if you love America. Help us with our mission, making common sense go viral. You can do it right now, even if you're watching on TV. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the United States and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.